I came into meditation path. So I was able to look into my childhood. I embraced my inner child, decondition myself. So meditation path is path of awareness. When we look into us ourselves, we can't bypass these layers, the layer of the mind. Whenever we recognize something as something like an imprint, which is formed at a very young age, we change it, reframe it.
I had always terrible back pain. I was told by the doctors that, okay, well, you're going to be like that until you die, despite every effort and, yoga and, chiropractor and everything. But after meditating, about a month and trusting my coach, Chandra, I tried the manifestation process, trying to visualize myself completely healed from this pain. So that was a kind of miracle for me. Because after 3 months, I could really stand. I could drive without pain, thanks to meditation practice.
Both Chandra and me come from a corporate background. Seeing the stresses, seeing the confusion, seeing the issues that we generally have in the corporate world, meditation came in as a silver bullet to most of us. So definitely to me, I used to be a very excessive thinker, and that is where the solutions provided by meditation, the state that meditation gets us in, really helped.
Hello everyone, good evening and good morning, masters. Congratulations, I would like to congratulate you. So we are in week 3. So welcome to the day 15 of our wonderful Vibe program, Meditation for Confidence, Clarity and Manifestation. So I hope you are having a wonderful session. So we have our wonderful teacher today, Kavya ma'am, over to you.
Thank you. Happy evening, friends and masters, and welcome to week 3. Our today's topic is how meditation helps us improve our physical health. So, I think it was Socrates or Aristotle. I know it was Aristotle who said that a healthy man wants 1,000 things and a sick man wants only one. So, till the time we have our health, if we are able to achieve everything that we want, or we are able to dream big and, think about manifesting 1,000 things that we want to experience in our life. But those who have gone through and experienced health problems in their life know that if you go through a health problem, you're not able to think about anything else, and your sole motive becomes to get out of that situation. Only then are you able to live your life and experience life to the fullest. So, now you might think that, okay, Kavya, I understand you're telling that how meditation helps with reducing stress and everything, but can meditation help with healing ourselves as well? What impact does it have on our body? And does it really have any impact on our health as well? So, to that, I will say yes. Many people have not been exposed to this wisdom and knowledge, where hundreds of people have shared their experiences that how through consciousness, awareness of thoughts, and meditation, they have healed their bodies completely. If I don't know if you've heard of Dr. Joe Dispenza. He met at the age of 22, 23. He met a horrific accident in which his entire spine, all the vertebrae were broken, and the best doctors in the US told him that you won't be able to walk again. And within 4 months, he was walking. All through the magic of meditation. He refused to listen to anybody and believed in the knowledge that he had and decided to implement it. Now, of course, it was no cakewalk, but he ended up doing it. There are 100 more examples of people who have defied what the doctors have told them and created a new life for themselves, healed from serious illnesses like cancer, brain tumors, just through the help of meditation. And that is the magic that happens, when we when we empty our thoughts, when we invite that energy into our body that comes from meditation. So today we're going to explore a little bit of that. And at the end of my talk, I will share some links with you on the chat, which is a storehouse of information for people who want to, explore this aspect, listen to people's experiences, listen to the science behind it as well in more depth by Dr. Joe Dispenza can, do that after the session. And they are amazing podcasts, amazing stories, and I really encourage all of you to go through them. So, till then, a little bit of introduction about how meditation helps us with our physical health. So, more and more studies these days are showing that stress is the number one reason for many illnesses: headaches, hormonal imbalance, digestion troubles, poor concentration, immunity issues, and multiple heart related issues are more and more happening due to stress. It's like if you step out, it's easier to find stress in people's lives than anything else. And we think that all of this is mental, and we don't even realize the impact it is having on our body. So, in a day, we have so many negative emotions, negative thoughts of fear, doubt, worry. So, and instead of letting go of these thoughts, we keep repeating them in our mind. If we have gone through a bad incident, we tell that story to 10 people, either expecting some sort of sympathy or empathy, and then we overthink those situations multiple times. So what happens is that when we think these thoughts, they are not just limited, the impact is not just limited to our mind. These negative emotions impact our body as well. One example that I had shared last week was, if you sit down right now and think of some negative emotion that has happened to you in the past, some negative incident. So even now, when you start thinking about it, you become equally agitated or stressed or sad when you're thinking about that situation. So even though it's not happening to you right now, just because you're thinking about it, you start seeing the impact of it on the body. You start feeling those emotions as well. Or a simpler example is, if I right now take a name of a dish, and if you start thinking about it, even if you're not eating it, you will start salivating, because that is the connection that is there between our mind and body. It's a loop. The mind sends signals to the body then implements those signals, which become the reality. And then again, because now the body is feeling it, those same signals go back to the mind, which accepts them to be true or reinforces what we are feeling. So because of this because of this mental stress that we are putting our body through all the time, you know we start now, like, you may again ask that, okay, again, Kavya, this is just mental stress, what does it have to do with my body? So let's see that what impact does this mental stress have on the body. So the human body is, prepared in itself always to respond to external physical threats. So the body has the inbuilt mechanism which it uses to protect itself in any situation of danger. And this is commonly known as the fight or flight mode. So we have two systems, the sympathetic system and the parasympathetic system. The sympathetic system helps our body when we need to be alert and deal with the danger around us. And the sympathetic mode is when the body comes, sorry, the parasympathetic mode is when the body starts coming back to its normal state of mind. So what happens when our body is in a fight or flight mode, when we sense that there is danger around us, then immediately all of the functions of the body are diverted to just the most important functions that are required to protect ourselves in that danger situation. So all the attention and blood from places like the immune system, thyroid, digestive system is taken away and given to the muscles. The adrenaline rush is there so that we are able to fight and protect ourselves. That's why in certain situations we hear of people performing impossible, unimagined acts, like, picking up a car when they want to save a baby or something, because that's when our fight and flight mode gets activated, and the body diverts all the energy to protect itself. So now this system was only created to protect ourselves in from danger. But what happens is that when we have constant thoughts of fear, blame, regret, anger, we are so agitated all the time by what is happening around us, what we are calling stress. Caused in our external situations, even little things like, our conversations with our colleagues, where we are, constantly trying to please everyone, and a lot of energy is used in that. We are constantly multitasking, so our mind is at multiple places at one time. Even before we sit complete one task, our mind is already on the other task. So what happens with these thoughts of fear, blame, regret, anger is that our brain misunderstands them for dangerous situations and pushes the body into a fight and flight state all the time. So, this sustained nature of our negative thoughts and worries keeps pushing the body into this mode where it's trying to protect itself, and it's unable to go back to its normal state where, all the functions are given the due energy that is required. So, we obsess over a negative situation again and again, and we make the brain feel that, it is in a dangerous situation, it's in a bad place to live in, and then the brain becomes defensive. It sends this message to the body, and our body also comes in a defensive state, and every time this happens, energy is diverted away from most of the bodily functions. And when that happens, when there's a disproportion of this energy that is taking place, then we start experiencing all of these physical health issues that we face. So nowadays, majority doctors also, when they go, they ask you about this, that before you experienced any major illness, were you going through a tough time in your life? What emotions, what thoughts led to this illness? Louisa Hay's book has an entire index which tells you that if you're going through a particular illness, then what was the underlying cause behind that pain? What message is your body trying to tell you to work upon to address it? So what role and another thing that happens is that a lot of people are these days facing sleep problems. So many people complain about not being able to sleep well. So high mental stress is again leading to lack of deep sleep, and deep sleep is also a time where our body really heals itself and it takes that rest to get rejuvenated for the next day. But because we are not getting that sleep, that deep sleep, that deep healing does not take place, and we wake up the next day again, unprepared to deal with the new demands of the external world around us. So when we do meditation, or it's the negative thoughts in our mind start to reduce, and the brain and the body come back to its normal state, and it comes out of the fight and flight mode to the normal state where it does not feel as if it needs to protect itself anymore. So, it's called the use it or lose it principle. This is applicable in neuroscience, that when we don't think certain thoughts again and again, then those brain circuits that are formed in our brain also start disappearing. So when we meditate and we are constantly trying to empty the negative thoughts, the negative emotions from our body, our mental stress reduces, our way of dealing with each and every situation reduces before us, then we start seeing the healing that is taking place in our body as well. So many people have reported situations where they sit down, they have meditated for 40 days and their back pain has gone away. All some major pressing issues that they have been facing have literally disappeared because the energy that you get when you sit down to meditate starts removing all the blockages from your body as well. So one important step in this process, what we have been repeating again and again, is that meditation helps you build awareness. Why is awareness important? Because majority of the times we have these negative thought loops running in our mind that we don't even realize are going on. So when we start meditating, when we start creating awareness that, okay, what am I thinking about right now? Am I indulging in negative talk with myself, with my body? Am I reacting to the external situation around me in a negative manner? Then, when we become aware of it, we get the opportunity to change it as well. So, immediately when you are aware that, okay, now I'm started thinking negatively, you immediately know that you have to replace it with a positive thought and remove yourself from that situation. So, another thing that meditation does is it leads to the production of feel good hormones. So, if all of you know what are the feel good hormones that are there in our body, number one is dopamine. It's the reward chemical. It is released in our mind when we do something pleasurable, like eating a great meal, listening to inspiring music, or getting a physical workout. Then another hormone is serotonin. It stabilizes our mood, gives us feeling of well-being and happiness. Then another is endorphins, which help us deal with physical pain in our body. And another is oxytocin, which is called the love hormone, which is linked to life satisfaction levels. So studies have shown that when we do meditation, all four of these hormones get released in the body. So imagine people put in so much. These are hormones that people feel only when they are doing certain activities, but all of these get released in the body when you do meditation, which further helps you reach a elevated state and repair your body. So yes, so that was how meditation, helps improve the physical quotient in your life as well. I will share some links in the chat box as well. So, with that, I think let's go in for meditation. And for those of you who are new here, I would just like to repeat that we are practicing breath mindfulness meditation, where we just have to close our eyes, fold our hands, cross our feet at the cross our legs at the free feet level, and just focus on your breathing, the in and out. Of course, initially it is difficult. A lot of thoughts come in our mind because that is what the mind or the brain is used to, but that is what we move past. We don't resist the thoughts, we just try and keep bringing our focus back to our breathing. And slowly, with a lot of practice, we reach a state where we reach that state of emptiness. So, just one thing, so many people, after trying for 5 days, 7 days, they give up. They're like, no, this is too tough. I'm not able to do it. I can't sit still. Especially young people, that's their favorite line. Sitting still for 20, 30 minutes, it's just impossible. I can't do it at all. But it makes me think. Someone said very nicely that when we want to build our careers, we spend so much time, energy. We do undergrad, then we do postgrad, then we deal with all the, bad things our bosses have to say just to build a career. But here we are setting out to build our emotional health, our physical health. We are being introduced to concepts that will help us, understand ourselves more. So why do we give up in just 5 days or 10 days? Why can't we, really try and put that effort for ourselves and in ourselves as well? So thank you for joining us for the third week as well. And let's continue meditating and seeing the results that it brings in our life.
dear friends. Dear Masters, with your specs removed, eyes closed, keep your hands on your chest area and resting your attention on your beautiful heart. With a slow, long, relaxing breath, connect with your heart center. Feel it, dear friends. Notice the beat, the rhythm of your heart. Your inner knowingness. Feel the center of all emotions, nurturing all life with its higher vibrations of love, compassion, gratitude. Can you recollect an experience from your past? Or simply go into an experience of higher emotion? Imagine that you are experiencing great, beautiful nature. You're trekking into mountains. You're helping people in need. Relive that moment and feel that energy. And allow yourself to direct that energy onto everyone and everything on this planet to help them heal. Where your attention goes, there your energy flows. Relive that moment and feel that energy and spread that energy to everyone, to everything, or to those who are in need. The more you experience love, compassion, deep joy, the more coherent you become, the more connected you become. And slowly, let's go into breath mindfulness meditation. With your fingers into fingers, hands comfortably rested in your lap. Observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath. We are going into powerful group meditation. Observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath. With your attention at the root of your nose, when you observe your breath, your mind becomes less and less of thought. As your mind is becoming empty, allow yourself to experience that deeper calmness inside of you, all around you. Allow yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to experience emptiness and blackness. Where there's no body, where there's no thing. All emptiness is energy. The quantum field of infinite possibilities. The field of wholeness, the field of oneness. The longer you stay aware of this emptiness, this energy, the more you become of it, the more you receive from it. aware of the emptiness, that calmness, this field of energy, the field of creation. The more you are with it, with this emptiness, the more you tune in. The miraculous possibilities. The more expansive you become. If you find yourself distracted in thought, go back to observing your breath and allow yourself to go into that emptiness. This is your divine self, your greater mind. The more you are with it, the more whole you become, the more empowered you become. Friend, can you express gratitude to all things and everyone? Express gratitude to your parents for giving this beautiful connection to life. Be grateful to your teachers and mentors for expanding your knowledge and wisdom. Give thanks to everyone in your life, your family, friends, colleagues, relatives, partners, for helping you learn and experience many things. Be grateful to this grand nature, the fish, the bird, the animal, the planet, stars, sun, moon, Mother Earth, for all the energy, beauty, mystery, and more in our life. For gratitude to everything you use, the system, the company, the governments, the technology that supports our life in many, many ways. Gratitude to yourself for caring for you, for caring for others, and to this intelligent universe for helping us experience this life. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. Recollect your experiences from the session. How did you feel? What have you seen? And whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds, and then you may open your eyes.
Welcome back, friends. I hope you all had a good meditation. If anybody wants to share anything, how their experience in meditation has been for the last 2 weeks, or if anyone has any questions, then I'll pick them up now. You can raise your hand.
Hello, Kia ma'am. There's yes, Vignesh.
Is someone saying anything?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you're
Yes, Usha.
Usha, you're audible.
So, ma'am, there's an announcement about the AMR session Advanced Meditation Retreat. It's an in-program session, so we'll be sharing you the details about the program. You can enroll, and I personally have attended it. It was so refreshing, and there we can have the community, we can meet them in person. And I think from this batch or program, Suman sir have also joined, so he can share his experience in the upcoming sessions. So yeah, we'll be sharing you the details, like when and where will be the session venue and everything. You can register to our program. Thank you.
So, friends, this AMR is like 5 days in a beautiful place called Pyramid Valley on the outskirts of Bangalore. I myself am traveling there tomorrow for like the entire June. Just, no, I do like to travel otherwise as well. I'm not that old-minded yet, but this indeed is a very beautiful place to, go, stay, relax for a while. And with this AMR, what happens is that you kind of meet the meditation family that is there. So, you connect with like-minded people without any judgment, without any, criticism, and it really helps you grow. And one important thing for meditation, what I've been saying is, so it's easy to let not be regular. It's easy to disintegrate with these practices, but when you keep being amongst like-minded people, then you keep getting inspired. And this is something I have seen for myself also. Initial 2 years I kept doing meditation, then not, but I somehow stayed connected with Buddha CEO. My parents stayed connected with Buddha CEO, and then when finally the time came, I became regular and got into it more deeply. But it was all because of the constant presence of these people. So it's happening from 26th June. It's for 5 days. So it's a great break if all of you want. Sometimes instead of just traveling, this is a new place to travel to as well, with lots of fun people. And these concepts we have only been discussing for 15-20 minutes, right? Like, it's we are just able to give you an introduction in this brief time, but there we will go into deeper concepts with even more senior masters, and help us really get into the depth of what is meditation and what are these concepts. So please do come. Hopefully, I will be there as well, and meet you all in person. Thank you.
Thank you, 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 thank you. I promise in this moment to keep my heart wide open with every breath I take.
Thank you so much, friends. See you all tomorrow at the same time. Until then, happy meditating. Bye, everyone.